Guys, welcome to the TGS Shotgun Dictionary, and today we are going to be talking about comb height, or combs generally. The height of the comb is important. It's going to dictate how much rib you see. On this gun, it's got an adjustable comb. That means with an Allen key, I can adjust how much high this is and how much cast I put upon it. Comb height is measured from a straight line off the top of your gun down to this point here, and this point here. If it's a non-adjustable comb or non-Monte Carlo, you're really just looking at this height here and this height here. The height of which your face sits is important. That comb height of face does matter, but if you get these three measurements right, that will look after itself. When you're having a gun fit, they will measure these 4 measurements on a Monte Carlo gun or these 3 measurements on a standard style stock. If a comb is too low, you'll have to float your face off the gun, and that's not going to give you much of a quality, consistent connection when shooting. And if you do get your head down on it, instead of looking down the rib, you're going to be looking into the safety catch and the top lever. That's not good. You need to be looking at the target. In fact, the modern fashion is to raise your comb up higher than ever before, where you can see some rib and keep a constant connection on the target by floating it over the rib, using the rib as more of a sight picture than an aiming device. And I say rib and bead in many cases. The lowest you want your rib to be is at a height where your eye sits just over the top of the rib here, and so that you see very little rib and just the bead sight. We'd call that a flat shooting gun, meaning you're looking at that bead, you want to cover a target up with that bead if you would like to shoot it. Obviously, if it requires no lead. Realistically, you want it to be a little bit higher so you can see a bit of rib. That's such a personal preference thing. You'll see people putting a pound coin on there so they can see over the top to set an exact height. But most of the time, when you're setting up a comb, it's gonna vary a little bit. You may like to see rib, you may not. When setting up a gun or getting a gun altered or customized, it's important that you understand the amount of rib you want to see before you go down that road. If you want a flat shooting gun, you'll need to communicate that. If you want a gun where you can see a bit of rib, you're probably gonna need to communicate that. These are important things to understand. I'd advise most people who are entering the journey to try both. Try a flat shooting gun. If you have an adjustable comb, put it up a little bit more than you may feel comfortable with and try that as well. You never know what you're gonna like until you've tried it. And when I say try, at least 100 shells. You have honeymoon periods, right? You change a gun, you start paying attention, and then you shoot like a god. After that, you'll start realizing how you shoot when you relax and actually shoot a bit more naturally with it. There is all manner of comb heights out there. High, low, Monte Carlo. Most manufactured modern guns come at a pretty normal spec. You have to hunt a little harder to find those weird guns or find guns with custom stocks. Remember, every person is different. The height between your eyes and your cheekbones, as well as the place that you like to lock that gun, will be different for everybody. So just because somebody thinks that this is perfect for them, it's unlikely to be perfect for you. Try some, learn, develop, and try and sort of pay attention to the process until you find a comb height that you like. Remember also that a Monte Carlo gun is available where the comb height differs from the natural pitch to the buttstock, and someone like me with a long neck requires that just to keep their head in a slightly more upright position. All of these things matter. Over on TGS Outdoors, we have covered this a lot of the nuances. If you want to know more, go check out some of those videos.